Hey guys, it's Steve for CollectorMania. I'm here doing a quick deck tech on my Hapatra Vizier of Poisons. This is the deck I'll be playing tonight, hopefully kicking my opponent's butts with. We'll see how that goes. I've seen the other two lists and they look pretty strong. But anyway, let's get into it here. So we've got a lot of creatures that are synergized with the -1/-1 counter theme. There's a few new ones that you'll see in here, like this guy, Festering Mummy. When he dies, he basically just puts a -1/-1 counter on a creature. Not really that great, but when you think about Hapatra's ability, it's awesome. Same thing here with Fume Spitter. This one's a little bit better, and of course this card's been around for a long time, but being able to sacrifice it and do it when you want to is obviously great. We've got a Elvish Mystic for a little bit of mana ramp. A Fang Skullkin. I actually took a look at a lot of the Scarecrows, because a lot of them have like the Wither ability and like the Persist ability and stuff like that. So this guy's kind of cool. He gives your target black creature gains Wither until end of turn. All you have to do is pay 2. Don't even have to tap him. So if you have a full board of black creatures, you can just keep giving him Wither, and it works really cool. And then we've got a Nightshade Peddler. I figured giving Hapatra a little bit of evasion early on might be a good idea. So I know, like, usually turn 2 commanders, about turn 3 or 4, you know, 2/2's not going to be able to swing into most people. So giving her Death Touch, which, you know, should work most of the time to get her through. Then we've got a Channeler Initiate, another one of the new cards. Obviously, the ability works both ways, so even if your creatures get the -1/-1 counters, you do get the snakes, so pretty cool card. Then we've got a Devoted Druid, of course. Couldn't not put this card in this deck. Defiant Great Maw, just another good way to kind of manipulate your counters. A Needle Spectre, great creature with Wither. Corrosive Mentor. This is kind of like the Skullkin from or the Scarecrow from earlier, but a little bit better because it just automatically gives all your black creatures Wither. So pretty cool. They've got a Dusk Urchins, another kind of guy that synergizes not only with the -1/-1 counters, but also draws you some cards. Quill Spike, of course. Got to remove some of those counters that you put on your own creatures. I've got Glissa the Trader in here. She's not only really good at defense and offense and pretty much everywhere, but there are quite a few really key artifacts in here, so I decided to throw her in. Plus she's, like I said, she's just an amazing creature. Necroskitter, of course, you know, kill all those creatures with -1/-1 counters and then get them back onto your side. So Soul Snuffers, I like this guy in playtesting. Sometimes though he kind of can mess you up and you hold him in your hand for a little while, but I don't know, we'll see how he works out in this game, hopefully. There is a little bit of Infect. It's not per se an Infect deck, but it does have a few guys. This guy's mainly in there for the proliferate when he dies. I've got a Wickerbow Elder, of course, you know, removing a counter and then destroying an artifact or enchantment, and then being able to put another counter on there and just keep taking him off and keep making snakes in the process. Creekwood Liege, it is a token deck, so putting a few other ways to make tokens in here I thought was pretty important, and here's a really big one. I've got a Noxious Hatchling. Great guy that comes in with -1/-1 counters on him, so you just get a snake. Skin Render, a great way to put -1/-1 counters on your opponent's creatures. Canker Abomination, another good creature for the strategy. An Archfiend of Ifnir. This guy's going to be huge if I get him on the board. You'll notice that when we get to the instants and sorceries that there's quite a few cycling cards in here and discard effects. I hope to utilize those to, you know, just bring my opponent's board to 0. We'll see how that goes though. It's foil promo too. Ooh. We've got a Lycanthrope, really cool card. I've never seen it or heard of it before. It basically puts a -1/-1 counter on itself for each 1 damage it receives. So, I mean, if you block with this guy, you're going to get a snake. It just works that well. Plus, during your upkeep, you can remove those counters too, so pretty cool. Another one of those Infect cards I was talking about. This guy is kind of the same thing as the Lycanthrope. Whenever receives damage, he gets -1/-1 counters on him. And that's mainly what I'm using him for. Like I said, it's not an Infect deck. It has a few infect things in here, but that's not the strategy I'm going for at all. Decimator Beetle, a really cool card that I actually overlooked at pre-release and finally got to looking at it and wish I would have used it in one of my decks. It probably would have helped me out quite a bit. They've got a Deity of Scars. Another guy that comes in with -1/-1 counters. Puppeteer Click, probably the best creature in here with Persist. Just, you know, dies, comes back, gives you a snake, and then grabs another person's creature. Great. Plague Maw, mainly there to sacrifice a snake and then proliferate the counters and then hopefully get a whole bunch more snakes. Extractor Demon. This guy was kind of funny. I threw him as just a filler at first, but actually he can mill you out pretty quick. If you've got a field of snakes and a sack outlet, he can probably usually mill somebody out. So, pretty cool card. Witherscale Worm. Carnifex Demon. I'd say this guy is key. Being able to remove the counters off of him and then give each of your opponent's creatures -1/-1 counter is great. Grim Poppet. Another Scarecrow. Pretty cool Scarecrow, I'd say. We've got a new Planeswalker in here. We've got Liliana Deathwielder. I got this one of the Planewalkers decks, and really cool card. I like the artwork a lot. We'll see how well it works. I like the Rise of the Dark Realms on the, you know, -10. Pretty cool. Oh, I guess it's not a full Rise of the Dark Realms. I didn't read that 100%, but still pretty cool. Then we've got to Altar the Brood, another way to kind of win if you're generating enough snakes. Ashnod's Altar, sack outlet. Trigon of Corruption, and a way to put -1/-1 counters on things. Mind's Eye, way to draw cards, of course. Contagion Engine, a really big one. This card can get out of hand really quick in this deck, just being able to make snakes and snakes and snakes and just whittle your opponents down. Torture, just throw this on one of your guys or an opponent's creature and then just keep putting counters on him. Fevered Convulsions, this is kind of the same thing. You just let it be on the board and then you can pay 4 and get a snake anytime you want. You know, say somebody's swinging at you and you don't have a blocker, you just, you know, activate it, put it on the creature that's swinging at you or whatever you want, and then block with the snake. Beastmaster Ascension, WinCon, pretty cool one. I need to get a Crater Hoof for this, but they're kind of pricey. Flourishing Defenses, another way to get tokens. Like I said, it's a token deck, so there's a few ways. And here are some of those kind of cycling cards that I was talking about, mainly for the Archfiend of Ifnir. This could become useful. I mean, putting 3 -1/-1 counters on a flyer, it's not bad. It can kill or weaken some things that are, you know, bad for you to see on your opponent's side, but we'll see what happens with it. Abrupt Decay, a little bit of removal. Dissenter's Deliverance. Destroy target artifact, cycling. Just another card to fill that hole. Druid's Deliverance. Prevent all the combat damage and then populate. Make snake. Haze of Pollen. Another, like, kind of the same thing as Druid's Deliverance, but it also has cycling on it, so pretty cool. Splendid Agony. Put 2 -1/-1 counters on 1 or 2 target creatures. Then we've got a Grim Affliction. This not only puts a counter on stuff, but it also proliferates, which is key. And then we've got a Frozen Grip, a little bit more artifact and enchantment removal. Notice the deck doesn't really have a problem removing creatures, it's mainly the other stuff, so you'll see a few spells like that. Instill Inflection, or Infection, sorry. Counter and then draw a card, not bad. Instant speed. And we got a Keyboard Wipe, which is Black Sun Zenith. Kind of the same thing as the Contagion Engine, just maybe a little bit more, I don't know, I guess since you can cycle it through your library, you can see it multiple times and all kinds of other stuff. Pretty cool card, though. Then we've got to Explore. A little bit of ramp. A Rampant Growth, some more ramp. A Harvest Season, and a new card. I know I've talked about this several times already, but this card's amazing, especially in this deck. You swing out with 5 of your snakes. Most of the time that people aren't going to block, and even if they do, you're trading a 1/1 token for one of their good creatures. and then, you know, play this afterwards, and whatever's left as far as tapped creatures, you get to search that many lands out of your library, so pretty cool card. Kadama's Reach. Oop, sorry. We've got a Tower Above, pretty cool card for this deck. Another new card, Never Return. Okay removal. I would honestly rather be playing Hero's Downfall, but I didn't have one, so I put this in here to try it out. We'll see what happens. Parting Thoughts. This came out in one of the Commander progs a few years ago. I think it was even last year, actually. I'd be interested to see how effective it is in this deck, since I am putting so many counters on things, so we'll see what happens with it, really, I guess. Incremental Blight. Dark Petition, a little bit of search. Another card that I got from the Commander deck, or not the Commander deck, the Planeswalker deck, Liliana's Influence. Interesting card. And then we're getting to our lands here. We've got an Overgrown Tomb, a Woodland Cemetery, a Golgari Guildgate, a Foul Orchard, a Golgari Rot Farm, blah, a Gaia Range Sanitarium, which this is also key to work with Ifnir, Shimmering Grotto, which should be a command tower, but I couldn't find one, Colony Garden, just the way to get a little token out there to eventually put a -1/-1 counter on and just get a snake. Tranquil Thicket, cycling. And I believe we go to our swamps. Let's see how many we have here. 2. Oh, they're all out of order. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 13 swamps and 1, 2, 3. And 15 forests. And that is the deck. So anyway, as always, remember to like, favorite, and subscribe, and let us know how we're doing, of course, and we'll see you in game.